And what is it with me? And I think every time that I make a video, I have deer antlers in the background. I guess it's just me. Not only just deer antlers, but I got camo in the background and that wall. Yeah, it's just kind of my life, right? Yeah, just the way it is. Welcome everybody to my dojo, my hunting dojo, or I guess another way of putting it, my dad's basement. it's kind of yes, there's camo on the walls, there's deer antlers on the walls, and I got a couple old muskets and everything over there too. So anyway, just ignore everything in the background. Anyway, one thing that I wanted to do is do a wrap up video of the semester, because I was reading through the last assignment, I guess really the only assignment that we had this semester, and I kind of want to make some comments about it, and I guess give some general replies to it. First off, thank you so much. There were some students who enjoyed the class, and it seemed like it was really enjoyable to them. That it was really, they really did mean it, and thank you for that. Thank you for bearing with me for half the semester we didn't meet, and you were just seeing my face online. We had kind of the one Zoom meeting. Some students were able to attend that Zoom meeting. I wish we could have been in person and doing some of those labs. Man, it just would have been so awesome. I was looking forward to it so much. I really wish we could have done that. Unfortunately, things happen. But and I did mention this in the Zoom meeting to the students that were there. When we come back on campus, maybe we can get a group of you all together. I'll keep you in the loop if we maybe have time and have access to maybe perform some of those labs that we didn't perform before. So maybe we can still do them, just wouldn't be in the class per se, but at least give all of you an opportunity to see the labs and maybe participate in them if you would like to. Also, going down some of the comments about some of the things that some students really enjoyed about the class, the one that I really enjoyed when I first started learning this stuff, and I'm glad someone pointed it out, that SCUBA is actually an acronym. That's something I didn't know. It was almost like when I first learned that, it was like that meme popped in my head, the one that says, I was today years old when blah, 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 blah. It's kind of the way I felt when I first learned that SCUBA was an acronym. And I can't remember exactly what the acronym is. Boy, I'm really prepared for this video, aren't I? Oh boy. I'm on vacation. I finally get out of the house. Semester's winding down, so my brain is just kind of fried right now. But anyway, it is an acronym. So it's kind of a little tidbit that I like to have. It doesn't really mean much. It's kind of a cool fact to know. You can maybe win some money on Jeopardy with it. Is it going to be life-saving? Maybe not. Maybe not. Who knows? Anyway, a couple other ones. There was a comment too that I really, really enjoyed. Somebody said that they wouldn't actually mind performing a sleep deprivation trial or trying it themselves, seeing how long they can stay awake. And this is something you can do as long as it's not going to harm you in your normal everyday life, and it's going to kind of wreck a few days of your life where maybe you have some responsibilities, work, school, could be, whatever, where you're not going to be missing out on those because of the effects of not being able to sleep. Then also I wouldn't recommend driving or operating heavy machinery during that period of time. But I mean, it's something you can do. And a lot of people do it just because maybe they need to stay up for a while, or they just haven't gotten a lot of sleep. And you can even make up some different tests that you might want to do on yourself. You could look at heart rate, maybe even core temperature, just use a regular thermometer, mouth thermometer, tympanic thermometer in the ear, whatever you would want to do. But you could also look at different tests. There's certain psychological tests that you can run, reaction style tests that you can run. There's probably a lot of them on the computer, on a phone that you could do. There's a lot of different tests that you could do that would essentially be free or very cheap that you could perform on yourself, or at least have a helper, somebody perform those on you. The only thing that could be difficult is staying awake. Once you, at least in that study that we had, once you got past the 20, I'm gonna say 28 to 30 hours, there was a period in there right around like 30, up to about 36 hours, to where maybe you got a second wind, where, man, it was difficult. I mean, you just started dozing off. I mean, standing. I mean, you wouldn't believe how easily it is to fall asleep, because your body is forcing you basically to fall asleep. There's different hormones and chemicals that are being released that's causing your body to want to sleep. And you need almost somebody there to nudge you every once in a while to wake you up, because, I mean, you're going to give into it at some point. So anyway, again, supervision if you are performing something like that. So, what were some other ones here? A lot of the favorite parts of the class were personable to most people. They either maybe had a situation where they kind of know what some of these things feel like dunking yourself in cold water, extremely cold water. Somebody actually said that they had performed the polar bear challenge, which I would love to do sometime. So they know kind of what that reaction is as soon as you get into the cold, because that polar bear challenge isn't just like sticking your toe in, then maybe a foot, then maybe the, half your leg. It's getting in there and, whole body and all. So, I wouldn't recommend swimming out very far if you do something like that, because it can maybe get a little bit scary, at least at some point, because your mental capacity and your decision-making skills aren't necessarily there at that point. So again, if you want to try that, just be careful of that too. And maybe even athletes who are running in the cold, or maybe have wet feet. If they're running through mud, it's cold outside, and their feet are wet, their socks are soaked, their shoes are soaked. So even though their body is fairly warm and their feet are fairly warm, the feet are still cold. They're constantly being in cold water or cold mud, some type of cold moisture. And that could be causing maybe some weird things to happen there too. And also maybe even putting your hands in cold, maybe soil. Somebody actually said that. And it was tough to have some dexterity in doing maybe some fine tasks with that. So those are just some of the ones that kind of stood out to me. I mean, everyone had basically those types of comments of some of the favorite things. So I just wanted to make, again, a fairly short video, not a overly long video of me kind of ranting and raving, I guess. And it's more of a thank you. This is a class that honestly, I didn't even know that I would be teaching anything like this at Wilmington, at least for a while. I have some plans to maybe put it into the exercise science program at some point, maybe as an elective. Or as a graduate course, maybe later down the road, if we get a graduate program, because that's what I've designed the course for. It was a graduate course, and then I brought it, I guess, to an undergraduate seminar course. So I apologize if I went up maybe a little bit too deep into maybe some of the science and physiology. I tried to take out a lot that was really, really in depth, just so a lot weren't getting kind of confused. Like, what is he even talking about? So, I wanted to make it interesting, but also have some of the good stuff, some of the nitty gritty stuff in there for some that may be interested in that. So I did have to kind of, take out some of that stuff a little bit. That way we can kind of get in, again, to the main body of what we're trying to show here. And I didn't think I was going to teach this class, um, uh, at least for a while at Wilmington. And it was probably maybe late fall semester. When Michael came and made the announcement that anybody want to teach any type of honor seminar class, and just any kind of topic in your field or something like that, I jumped on it because I'm like, man, I would love to teach this again, because I hadn't taught it for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, about 4 years or so. So it was a while since I had actually had an opportunity to teach this material. So it was great opportunity for me, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And again, I thank you so much for the kind words. And I hope you enjoyed it. I really do. Hopefully, I do have a class like that, at least within the exercise science major, but I've also thought about maybe trying some way to make it a general education course, or maybe even a senior global course topic. So there's a bunch of different ideas that I've had about it. So anyway, that was kind of my ranting and raving, and kind of my last video for this class for the semester. I thank you for being in class. Thank you for dealing with everything that was going on this semester. And yeah, so if I don't see you, don't hear from you, have a fantastic summer. I hope to see you back in the fall. Pretty sure it's going to happen, but we don't know. We honestly don't know what's going to happen, but I hope to see you back here in the fall. I guess not here, because this is actually a different state. I'm in a different state right now. So I'm in Pennsylvania. I hope to see you back in Ohio, which is that way. So, thank you, and have a safe summer, safe travels if you're doing any traveling. And I thank you for watching, and thank you for being such great students in the class. Later.